Rebekah, a key figure in the Bible, played a central role in the lineage of the Israelites as the wife of Isaac and the mother of Jacob and Esau. Unlike many women of her era, Rebekah was not a passive figure in the biblical story. She played a dynamic and decisive role in the unfolding of God's plan, making bold and at times controversial choices that were crucial in bringing about the fulfillment of the promises made to Abraham. From her first encounter at the well to her role as a mother to nations, her life demonstrates how God's plans unfold in unexpected ways. Now you might wonder, what makes Rebekah such a pivotal figure in the Bible? How did her bold decisions and unwavering faith shape the course of Israel's history? From the moment she was selected as Isaac's wife, Rebekah embarked on a journey that would profoundly influence the future of Israel. Yet her story is not without struggle. Her decisions and the conflicts she navigates reflect the difficulty of aligning with God's will when the future is uncertain. Far from being just a story of the past, Rebekah's life offers timeless insights that continue to inspire and guide us today. In today's video, we will discuss the remarkable life of Rebekah and explore how her choices helped fulfill God's divine plan, altering the destiny of generations to come. Meanwhile, please subscribe to our channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Whether it's diving into dramatic moments or revealing the significance of subtle details, we promise to spark your curiosity and make you see these stories in a whole new light. Join us as we journey through history and uncover truths that still resonate today. Now, let's begin. According to biblical tradition, Rebekah's father was Bethuel the Aramean from Paddan Aram, also called Aram Naharaim. Rebekah's brother was Laban the Aramean, and she was the granddaughter of Milcah and Nahor, the brother of Abraham. Her family lived in the city of Nahor, in the region of Aram Naharaim, Mesopotamia, which is present-day northern Syria or Iraq. The name Rebekah or Rebekah comes from the Hebrew name Rivkah, which is traditionally understood to mean to tie or to bind. Some interpretations suggest it can also mean captivating or ensnaring, as in someone who draws others in with their beauty or charm. This name aligns with her story in the Bible, where Rebekah captivates Isaac and plays a crucial role in binding the lineage of the patriarchs through her faith and actions. Her first introduction in the Bible occurs when Abraham sends his servant, traditionally believed as Eliezer, to find a wife for his son Isaac from among his own kin. Now, you might ask how Rebekah is linked to Abraham. Actually, Rebekah's story is intertwined with the fulfillment of God's covenant with Abraham, a promise of descendants as countless as the stars and the birth of a great nation through his family line. It all begins as Abraham grows older, with one concern dominating his thoughts: finding the right wife for his son, Isaac. He realizes that the continuation of the divine covenant depends on Isaac marrying someone who shares their faith and values. With this in mind, Abraham entrusts his most reliable servant, Eliezer of Damascus, with the crucial task of finding a suitable bride. Abraham makes it clear that Isaac must not marry a Canaanite woman, as the Canaanites are known for their idolatry and immoral practices. Instead, the servant is to seek a wife from Abraham's own people, ensuring their faith in the one true God remains intact. In Genesis 24, verses 3-4, Abraham commands, "I want you to swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not get a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I am living, but will go to my country and my own relatives and get a wife for my son Isaac." The precision of these instructions highlights the critical importance of preserving the purity of faith and adherence to God's commands. Abraham's directive is not merely about finding any wife for Isaac, but about choosing the right one, a woman who would play a vital role in God's ongoing plan. His insistence on selecting a bride from his own kin is based on the understanding that they shared the same faith, unlike the Canaanites, who were entrenched in pagan practices. As the servant journeys to the city of Nahor, he carries the weight of his master's mission on his shoulders. Upon arriving, he pauses by a well, a common gathering place for women drawing water. Understanding the importance of his task, he lifts his heart in prayer, seeking divine guidance. Lord, God of my master Abraham, make me successful today and show kindness to my master Abraham. Standing beside a spring, he prepares for the arrival of the town's daughters, asking for a specific sign. When he requests a drink, the right woman will not only offer him water, but also volunteer to water his camels. This prayer reflects the servant's profound faith and reliance on God's providence. His prayer is not just a request for a specific action, it is a plea for God's intervention to ensure that Isaac marries someone who embodies the values of their family and faith. The criteria he sets are aimed at identifying a woman who displays kindness, generosity, diligence, and hospitality, traits crucial for the wife of a patriarch destined to lead a great nation. Almost immediately after he finishes praying, Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel and granddaughter of Nahor, appears at the well. Before he had finished praying, Rebekah came out with her jar on her shoulder. She was the daughter of Bethuel, son of Milcah, who was the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor, Genesis 24, verse 15. Described as a beautiful and virtuous young woman, she approaches the well with her water jar. The servant watches intently as he discerns her demeanor, hoping she will fulfill the sign he has requested from God. When he asks her for a drink, she responds not only by offering him water, but also by saying, "Drink, and I'll water your camels too." With remarkable speed and energy, she empties her jar into the trough, runs back to the well to draw more water, and ensures that all the camels are satisfied. This simple yet profound act of kindness speaks volumes about her character. It reveals her generosity, hard work, and willingness to help a stranger, a reflection of the values Abraham cherishes. A single camel can drink a significant amount of water, and Rebekah's eagerness to serve both the servant and his camels showcases her selflessness and strength. As she pours water for the camels, the servant watches in awe, sensing that this is no ordinary encounter. His heart races as he realizes that Rebekah is the answer to his prayer, the woman God has chosen for Isaac. Once she finishes watering the camels, he introduces himself and explains his purpose. Joy and gratitude fill him as he understands that God has guided him to the very woman who will become part of Abraham's lineage. Rebekah's actions and the servant's recognition exemplify a divine orchestration that highlights the importance of faith, prayer, and the fulfillment of God's promises. Through this encounter, not only is a bride chosen for Isaac, but a pivotal link in the narrative of God's covenant with Abraham and his descendants is also established. Rebekah lives with her family in a setting where traditional patriarchal values are observed. She is described as beautiful and virtuous, residing in a household that honors the God of Abraham, though practices of idolatry still surround them. While we don't learn many details about her early life before marriage, it can be inferred that she grows up with a strong sense of duty, hospitality, and faith, all of which are highlighted by her immediate willingness to serve Abraham's servant. The servant promptly gifts Rebekah a golden nose ring and 2 golden bracelets, which she excitedly rushes to show her mother. Upon seeing the jewelry, her brother Laban quickly runs out to greet the servant and invites him into their home. Once inside, the servant carefully recounts the oath he made to Abraham and shares the details of his journey and his encounter with Rebekah. After presenting gifts to Rebekah's family, he passionately advocates for the marriage between Isaac and Rebekah, making it clear that this union is part of a divine plan. As he speaks, the servant highlights God's guidance throughout his journey, emphasizing the miraculous events that led him to Rebekah. Touched by the servant's words and the divine signs, Rebekah's family agrees to the marriage proposal. When the servant asks Rebekah if she consents to go with him to marry Isaac, she responds decisively, "I will go." This moment is significant, as it marks a turning point in her life. Leaving behind her family and homeland for a new life in Canaan requires great courage and trust that God is guiding her toward a greater purpose. The decision is monumental, as Rebekah willingly embraces her destiny. She exemplifies faith and willingness to step into the unknown, fulfilling the role destined for her as a matriarch of Israel. Her family acknowledges her choice, stating, "We will call the young woman and ask her about it." After confirming her desire to proceed, they bless her with words that underscore her importance. "Our sister, may you increase to thousands upon thousands. May your offspring possess the gates of their enemies." Genesis 24, verse 60. This blessing not only highlights Rebekah's significance in their family, but also foreshadows her pivotal role in the lineage of the chosen people. Her choice mirrors the journey of faith that Abraham took when he left his homeland in obedience to God's call, highlighting a recurring theme of trusting God's plan despite uncertainty. This journey is not just a physical relocation, but also a spiritual one. Rebekah is stepping into a divinely ordained role as the wife of Isaac, the son of promise, through whom God would fulfill his covenant with Abraham. When Rebekah finally arrives in Canaan, she meets Isaac under poignant circumstances. Isaac is described as being in the field, meditating as evening approaches. It's a serene and contemplative scene, suggesting Isaac's deep reflection and perhaps his ongoing mourning for his mother. As the caravan approaches, Rebekah sees Isaac from a distance. She immediately asks the servant, "Who is that man in the field coming to meet us?" The servant's response, "He is my master," marks the first moment where Rebekah realizes that this man will be her husband. Upon hearing that Isaac is the man she is to marry, Rebekah veils herself. This act of veiling is significant in ancient Near Eastern culture, symbolizing modesty, respect, and the transition into her role as Isaac's bride. After Rebekah veils herself, the servant tells Isaac how God guided him in choosing her, confirming Rebekah as the divinely chosen wife for Isaac. The Bible then notes that Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother Sarah, and he married Rebekah. Genesis 24, verse 67. This detail is rich with meaning. Sarah's tent represents more than just a physical space. It symbolizes the legacy of the matriarch Sarah, who was revered as the mother of nations and the bearer of the covenant promise. By bringing Rebekah into Sarah's tent, Isaac is symbolically passing on the mantle of matriarch to her. Rebekah is now stepping into the role that Sarah once held, as the next in line to carry forward the Abrahamic promise. Isaac's marriage to Rebekah is described with touching simplicity. He married Rebekah, so she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Genesis 24, verse 67. This verse captures the depth of Isaac's affection for Rebekah. Unlike many other marriages in the Bible that were arranged for political or familial alliances, Isaac and Rebekah's marriage is one of the few where love is explicitly mentioned. Isaac's love for Rebekah is both tender and profound, offering him comfort and healing after the loss of his beloved mother. Although Rebekah and Isaac love each other, their marriage isn't without challenges. One of the primary struggles they face is infertility, a deeply personal and painful issue for couples, especially in ancient times when having children is crucial for continuing the family line and fulfilling God's covenant promises. For 20 years, Rebekah is unable to conceive. However, despite this prolonged period of infertility, Isaac demonstrates remarkable faith and patience. Genesis 25, verse 21 states, "Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless." Isaac's prayer is likely sustained and persistent over many years, given that their childlessness lasts for 2 decades. This emphasizes the depth of his faith, as he patiently waits for God's response, trusting that their situation is in divine hands. Finally, God answers their prayers, and Rebekah becomes pregnant. Rebekah's pregnancy, following 20 years of waiting, brings not one but 2 children, twins, marking a double blessing for her and Isaac. However, her joy is soon clouded by distress as she experiences intense physical struggle within her womb. Confused by what is happening, she turns to God for guidance, asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Genesis 25, verse 22. In response, God answered Rebekah with a prophetic revelation that extended far beyond her personal situation. He said, "2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." Genesis 25, verse 23. The prophecy carries lasting implications not only for Rebekah's family, but also for the broader history of Israel. Her inner turmoil serves as a metaphor for spiritual conflict. Just as she experiences the physical jostling within her womb, her family would also confront both internal and external struggles. Moreover, the prophecy demonstrated a recurring biblical theme. God often chooses the younger or the least likely candidate to fulfill his purposes, as seen with other figures like David and Joseph. Rebekah gives birth to twin sons, Esau and Jacob, who are very different from each other. Esau, the elder, grows up to be a skillful hunter and a man of the outdoors, earning his father Isaac's favor for these traits. Isaac's preference for Esau is likely influenced by Esau's ability to provide game, which Isaac enjoys. Esau's rugged and independent nature makes him the traditional choice for inheriting family leadership as the firstborn. In contrast, Jacob is more mild-mannered, preferring to stay near the tents and engage in domestic activities. He is close to his mother, Rebekah, who favors him, perhaps because she remembers the prophecy that the younger will surpass the older. This parental favoritism creates tension within the family, significantly impacting the unfolding events between Esau and Jacob, particularly regarding the inheritance of the birthright and blessing. One of the most defining moments in Rebekah's life occurs when she helps her younger son, Jacob, secure the blessing meant for the firstborn, Esau. Isaac, now old and blind, plans to give Esau the special blessing before his death. However, Rebekah recalls God's prophecy that the older will serve the younger and decides to take action. When Rebekah overhears Isaac instructing Esau to hunt and prepare a meal to receive the blessing, she immediately sets her plan into motion, telling Jacob, "Now, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you." Despite her confidence, Jacob hesitates, worrying about being caught. "But my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am a man with smooth skin." Genesis 27, verse 11. Rebekah's assurance that, "My son, let the curse fall on me. Just do what I say. Go and get them for me." Genesis 27, verse 13. Demonstrates her determination to fulfill what she believes is God's will, even if it means bearing the risk herself. She instructs Jacob to disguise himself as Esau by wearing his clothes and bringing their father a meal, tricking Isaac into believing he is blessing Esau. Rebekah carefully orchestrates the plan, dressing Jacob in Esau's clothes and covering his hands and neck with goat skins. When Jacob brings the meal to his father, Isaac expresses doubt, asking, "Who are you, my son?" Jacob responds, "I am Esau, your firstborn." Genesis 27, verse 19, convincing Isaac enough to continue with the blessing. Isaac then bestows upon Jacob the inheritance meant for Esau, saying, "May God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness, an abundance of grain and new wine." Genesis 27, verse 28. This blessing grants Jacob both material prosperity and divine favor, solidifying his place as the chosen heir. However, this act creates serious conflict within the family. Esau, feeling betrayed, vows to kill Jacob for stealing his blessing. Despite the ensuing family strife, Rebekah's actions set the stage for Jacob to fulfill his destiny. He ultimately becomes the father of the 12 tribes of Israel, playing a central role in the continuation of God's plan for his people. After Jacob flees to his uncle Laban's household to escape Esau's wrath, Rebekah seems to fade from the biblical narrative. While her death is not directly mentioned in the Bible, Jewish tradition holds that she died while Jacob was still in exile. She is buried in the cave of Machpelah, where her in-laws, Abraham and Sarah, were also laid to rest, alongside her husband Isaac, who later dies and is buried there as well. Rebekah's legacy is profound. Her journey is one of faith, love, and divine purpose, woven with moments of challenge and complexity. Her role as a matriarch of Israel is undeniable, as her son Jacob became the father of the 12 tribes. She was a woman of great faith and foresight, trusting in God's plan even when it meant taking bold actions. Her influence extended through her children and the generations that followed, marking her as one of the most important women in biblical history. And that's it for today's video. If you found this video insightful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into biblical stories. Have you ever felt like there's so much more to the stories you thought you knew? On our channel, we discuss the untold layers and hidden meanings behind some of the most captivating narratives in the Bible. Each episode invites you to explore the deeper emotions, conflicts, and mysteries that shaped the lives of people in ancient times. From family rivalries to miraculous moments, we explore the stories behind the scenes, giving you a fresh perspective on these ancient texts. Our episodes are designed to spark your curiosity and make you think about the deeper meanings behind these timeless tales. So, if you're ready to see the Bible in a whole new light, come and explore with us. You won't want to miss a single episode. And as always, feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring.